Bonjour à toutes et à tous et bienvenue dans une nouvelle vidéo Apprenons ensemble. Je m'appelle Habib et j'enseigne le français. Hello and welcome to another video on Apprenons ensemble. If you are new here, my name is Habib and I teach French. In today's video, we will have a translation exercise from English to French sentences. French for intermediate, English to French translation exercise 2. Here is the required knowledge that you need to have before starting the exercise. So you need to have an idea about present, past, and future tenses formation. The articles, the possessive adjectives, negation, preposition plus countries, example to express to go to or to come from plus a country. Then nouns, genders. So I'm doing this video because I got many requests from the followers from YouTube, from Facebook, asking me to help them for their translation. But since I cannot help individually each and everyone, so I've decided to make this video, hoping that it will be able to help you more understanding the logic behind the English to French translation. Okay, but before we start, if you are okay with this type of program, I will humbly ask you to subscribe and hit the bell button not to miss our future uploads. So let's get started. Translate into French. Traduisez en français. So here are the sentences we'll be using for our today exercise. Okay. Last year we went to the United States. The children have nice uniforms. There are no vegetables in the refrigerator. We are going to sell our car. They won't go to France. So for each sentence, I will give you 10 seconds to translate it into French. But if you need more time, please, you can pause the video, finish the translation, and then continue the video. Let's start with the first sentence. Last year, we went to the United States. So 10 seconds, starting now. Sentence number 2, the children have nice uniforms. 10 seconds, starting now. Third sentence, there are no vegetables in the refrigerator. 10 seconds, starting now. Fourth sentence, we are going to sell our car. 10 seconds, starting now. Last sentence, they won't go to France. 10 seconds, starting now. Okay, so now we'll start the answers, les réponses. So in this part, we'll start answering the questions, but please stay tuned till the end of the video because I do have some tips for you, okay, on how to understand this concept. So please watch the video till the end. So answers, les réponses.
Do you want to learn French but don't know where to start? Are you having difficulties learning French? Have you tried many different methods but still struggling learning French? Are you having any upcoming French exam? Are you trying to learn French for your professional career? Are you looking for a French partner to interact on a daily basis? Are you looking for private one-on-one classes for you or your loved one? Then do not hesitate to contact us. will help you drastically improve your writing, speaking, listening, and reading skills in French. Take the next steps which will allow you to become fluent in French. You can directly leave us a message in the message box under the video. You can send us an email, or you can contact us through Facebook or Instagram. Find all details in the video description.
Okay, sentence 1. Last year we went to the United States. So the structure of this sentence is we have an adverb of time, subject, verb, preposition, and then the complement. Okay. So let's put some color into the sentence. So last year is the adverb, we is the subject, went is the verb, to is the preposition, and the United States is the complement or the object. Okay, so let's start with the adverb of time. So what is an adverb of time? Adverb of time is nothing but an adverb used to specify a specific moment in the time. Okay, so in our example, the action happened in the past. Okay, that is the logic of adverb of time. Okay, so here, knowing that the action happened in the past, so we already have a clue about the tense for the verb. Okay, so last year in French means l'année dernière. So let's replace l'année dernière in our sentence. So l'année dernière, comma, we went to the United States. Okay, now let's talk about the subject. So we is the subject pronoun. So here is the list of the subject pronoun from English to French. Let's see what is we in French. So we will be nous. Okay, so let's replace nous in the sentence there. So nous. Okay, fine. Now let's talk about the verb. So went is the preterite form, or if you want simple past tense form of the verb to go. So simple past tense is used to show that we are talking about something that has already happened. Okay. So the tense used in French to express an action that has already happened is called le passé composé. So therefore, we are going to conjugate the verb to go, which is aller in French, to the passé composé tense for the subject. No. So passé composé rule is subject plus auxiliary être or avoir present tense plus the verb itself past participle. So for the verb aller, for subject nous, the passé composé will be nous sommes allés. This extra e here is when it's a group, when the speaker also belongs to that group and the group is made only of female. Then we'll remove the commas and the brackets, and we'll just have an extra e for female group. Okay, so let's replace this one in our sentence. So nous sommes allés then to the United States. Let's talk about the last part. So we have the preposition plus the country. Okay, so the preposition is to and the country is United States. So United States in French is les États-Unis, which is a plural country. Okay. Now, how to express that to? For to, we have three possibilities. We can use en plus countries for all feminine singular countries, and for all singular countries starting with the vowel masculine and feminine. Okay. And here this one is plural, so I don't think that this one can fit the rule. We have also AU for countries for all masculine singular countries starting with the consonant. So this one is plural, and this one we are still talking about singular, so I don't think this one. Let's go for the last one. AUX plus countries for all plural countries, masculine and feminine. Okay, so this is a plural country, so I think this is the one that we'll be using. So we use AUX. So to here will be expressed by AUX. Fine. Okay, so here this will be the last sentence. So aux États-Unis. Now this time you can see that I haven't written the LES because this AUX is already used to express to. Then again, we don't need this one because here that AUX, in AUX you have to the. It is a contracted article. So we don't need again that LES here. Okay, so O, then directly the country name. So the last sentence, the final sentence for last year we went to the United States will be l'année dernière nous sommes allés aux États-Unis. Okay. If you need more time to understand, please you can repeat the video or you can ask me in the comment section if you do have some doubt. Sentence 2, the children have nice uniforms. So structure of the sentence, subject, then the verb, then the complement. Okay, the complement is made of an adjective and a noun. That's why I've put them inside the square brackets. Okay, so now instead of writing complement, I will just keep a square bracket before and after the complement part. So finally, we can say the subject will be the children, the verb will be have, nice will be the adjective, and uniforms will be the noun. Okay. So let's start with the subject. So the subject is the children. So this one, you just need to check in the dictionary if you don't know the meaning. But if you don't know the meaning of children in French, that's a very good beginning and keep it up. So while searching in a dictionary or while getting a noun in French, we also need to get its number and its gender. This is very important. Okay. So here, enfant means enfant is masculine and plural. So let's replace enfant in the sentence there. So les enfants then have nice uniforms. Let's see the verb partner. So the tense is present tense. The verb is the verb avoir, which is to have in English. Okay. And let's see some things. So the children, if I want to conjugate the verb to have, I need to check what is the children. Sometimes you can get confused. So I'm going to replace the children by something that we call pronoun subject. So I can say the children have nice uniform we can turn to they have nice uniform. Okay. So for they in French we have il plural and elle plural. Now let's have a look. So il and elle, they both have same conjugation. So we don't need to bother if it is il or elle because we are not going to replace the children. We just need the conjugation which is here. Okay. So even though we use for the il, we use for the elle, it will give the same conjugation. Okay. So I'm not replacing the subject. I just need the conjugated verb here. Okay. So let's replace it in our sentence. So les enfants ont then nice uniforms. Let's talk about the complement part. We have the adjective, which is nice, and the noun, which is uniforms. Okay, let's see the meaning of uniform in French. So uniform in French will be uniform, which is a masculine plural noun. So every time, please, when you are searching for gender for the translation of a noun, don't forget also to check for its gender. The number won't be given in the dictionary because it can be singular, it can be plural, it will depend on the sentence. Okay, so it is in our case the uniform is masculine, but since it ends with s, then it is plural. Okay, now we need to know which article we need to use for this in front of this uniform. So for definite article are used to express a specific things in French, while indefinite article are used to express an unspecified, undefined noun. Okay, so here let's see, let's think a little bit. We are talking about the uniform of the children. Are we talking about the only nice uniform in that area or worldwide, or we are just talking about some nice uniforms? So I think it's the second case. So we'll be going for the indefinite articles because those uniform are not the only one which are nice, but among the nice ones. So they are wearing some nice uniforms. Okay. So here the noun is masculine plural, so this is for masculine singular, UNT for feminine singular, and DES for feminine or masculine plural. So I think I'm going to use DES here. Okay, so there's uniform. Fine. Now, nice in French become beau. Okay. Now we have some problem in French. When you have the adjective next to the noun, sometimes it can come before the noun, sometimes it can come after the noun. Okay? So it's not like in English, always the adjective will come before. No, in French, the adjective can come before or after the noun. Okay? Now let's have a look here. This is what I was trying to explain you. Okay? We can use adjective with subject plus the verb add plus adjective. Okay, but when you have the adjective next to the noun, it can come sometimes before the noun, so adjective plus noun, like in this example, or it can come after the noun, so which is adjective and noun. Okay, so we need to know when to use what. Now, in French, most of the adjectives will be placed after the noun, not like in English. In English, the adjective mostly will be placed before the noun, but in French, it should be placed mostly after the noun. But beau is one of the exceptions, so it must be placed before the noun. Okay, so we do have some exception of adjective that should be placed before the noun. Okay, and beau is among the list of the exception. So the adjective beau will come before the noun. So here. Okay, so the beaux uniformes. Des beaux uniformes. Okay, so let's write it in our sentence. So les enfants ont des beaux uniformes. Now we have another problem with the beau here. Let's see what's the problem. Okay, so agreement of adjective. What is the problem here? The adjective is describing a noun. Okay, so that means so if the noun is plural, the adjective should turn to plural. If the noun is feminine, the adjective should turn to feminine. So let's have a look here. Adjectives are used to describe nouns. The French language is based on the gender and number of nouns. So therefore, the adjective must agree with the gender and the number of the noun they describe. Okay. So here, uniform is masculine plural. So let's have a different possibility for the word beau. So for masculine singular, this is the spelling for beau. Then we have the spelling for beau with masculine plural, feminine singular, and feminine plural. Here our noun is masculine and plural. So I think we'll go for this spelling, beau, with X at the end. Okay, so let's add X to our beau here. Fine. Are you okay? So les enfants ont des beaux uniformes. Now we have the last problem. Note, DES becomes DE when the adjective is placed before the noun. So example, look at here, the adjectives are written in the red, orange color. So here, des voitures rouges. So here we left it there because the adjective comes after the noun. But in the second example, de belles robes. Normally it should be DES, but since the adjective comes before the noun, that's why that DES changes to DE. So here in our case, the adjective comes before the noun. So this DES, we need to change it also. Okay. So the final sentence will be les enfants ont de beaux uniformes. Okay. If you do have any doubt, please leave me a comment in the section. Third one, there are no vegetables in the refrigerator. So the structure of the sentence will be subject, then we have negation inside, then the verb, then the complement. So let's color the different parts of the sentence. So they is the subject, are is the verb, no negation, and vegetables in the refrigerator is the complement. Let's start with the subject. So here for the subject, we not take only the subject, but we take they are. Okay, because they are or there is something that we call an expression in French. So we say il y a to express there is or they are. We say there is according to what comes after il y a. If the noun coming right after il y a is singular, then we are on there is. If the noun coming right after is plural, then we are on they are. Okay. So here in the sentence they say they are, so we say il y a because the noun that will come after will be plural. That is the logic behind. Okay, so let's replace there is, they are in the sentence. So il y a. Now here we have something that we call a pronoun object. Okay, so here we need to, this example is very suitable because we see where to put the negation. Let's continue. So the second point we will talk about the negation. Not, no, don't, and didn't. In French, the regular way to make a sentence negative is by adding n, then dash, then pas. So let's see the place of ne and the place of pas. So affirmative sentence structure, so subject, then verb, then complement. For the negative sentence with negation, the structure of sentence with negation will be ne or n apostrophe, then verb, then pas, then complement. Now, where to place ne? Most of the time you hear that you should place ne before the verb and pas right after the verb, which is not really correct. So here, let's follow this rule because this one, if you apply it every time, it will be always correct. So ne should always be placed right after the subject and pas should be placed right after the verb. What is our subject in this sentence? It is this il elle. So right after il elle, I'm going to put ne here. And what is the verb? It is a, to have. So I'm going to put pas right here. Okay, if I was following the rule of right after before the verb and right after, I was going to put the ne after the y, which is not correct. Okay, so let's put the negation inside. So il ne y a pas vegetable in the refrigerator. Okay. Now we have a small point. Ne becomes n apostrophe when the next word starts with a vowel or a silent H. Let's look at our NE. NE is here, and the next word start with a vowel. Okay, Y is a vowel in French. In French, we have 6 vowels, not 5 like in English. Okay, so Y is a vowel. So NE here will turn to N apostrophe. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so il n'y a pas then vegetables in the refrigerator. Okay, now this part will be nothing but vocabulary. So vegetable in French will be the legume, masculine, plural noun. A preposition to express it, but for inside, like inside a closed area, we use the preposition dans. Then the refrigerator, for refrigerator, we have 3, and we can see le réfrigérateur, then masculine singular, le frigidaire, masculine singular, or le frigo, masculine singular. You can use any of these 3, no problem. So let's translate this sentence. So the translation will become il n'y a pas de légumes dans le réfrigérateur. I used the first one, but you could have used the second or the third one. Okay. So now we have a small problem. We are almost done, but we have a problem with this DES. Let's read the note. After pa, if we have UN, UNE, DU, DES, or a number, we change them to DE. So here, right after pa, I'm having DES. So according to this rule, I need to change this DES to DE. Okay, so the final sentence will become il n'y a pas de légumes dans le réfrigérateur. Okay, if you don't have any question, again, please drop it in the comment section. Fourth question, we are going to sell our car. So the structure of the sentence will become subject, verb, and then the complement. Okay, so we is the subject, are going to sell is the verb, our car is the object. Okay, let's start with the verb. So we, so again, it's the subject pronoun. So from the table of the subject pronoun from English to French, we will become nous. So let's replace nous in our sentence. So nous, okay, then are going to sell our car. Let's talk about the verb part. So are going to sell, what is the logic here? The logic is we are talking about an expression that will take place in the near future. We are going to sell the car. So it's not like a next year, in 10 years, no. We are going to sell it. So this is something that is going to happen maybe in the next month or in the next few months or in the next few weeks. Okay. So here the tense is called future proche. So this is the tense used to express an action that will take place in the near future. Okay. So this is the future proche we are going to use in French. Okay. And apply the French rules for the future proche and get the meaning of are going to sell. So here, what is the action that we are really expressing here? So here, to express future proche, the structure will be subject, then the verb aller, then the verb itself, infinitive form. Now, in this sentence, what is the action that we are trying to express? Is it to go or to sell? I think it's to sell. So the verb here will be to sell. Getting the logic? We are going to sell. The action word expressed here is to sell. Okay, so to sell in French means vendre. So we are going to follow this rule and apply it on the verb form. So aller, present tense according to the subject, which is nous in our case, and the verb itself will stay as it is here. No change will happen. Okay, so subject will be nous, aller present tense for nous will be allons, and the verb itself non-conjugated form will be vendre. So that is what we are going to return here. So let's turn the verb. So nous allons vendre, then our car. So for our car, what can we say? Our car, we have 2 parts. We have the adjective possessive to use to express the belonging, to show the belonging, and then we have car. Okay. So here, this is the table for the adjective possessive. Okay. So here, I'm trying to express our. So to express our, this is the English meaning. So our will be somewhere here. So after getting the our, I'll get 3 possibilities. Okay. Now, to find the right one, what I need to do, I need to check the gender and the number for the word car. So let's have a look. So car in French will become voiture. Voiture is a feminine singular noun. Okay. Voiture is a feminine singular. So you see what I did? I first start by getting what is our in French. We'll have 3 possibilities. Then to find the right one, the word coming right after our, the noun that we are talking about, Okay, I need to find its gender and its number. So in this case, car is a feminine singular noun. Okay, so now I'm coming back to my table for adjective possessive and see which one can match. So for masculine singular noun, feminine singular noun, and masculine feminine plural noun. So so here I think we'll be using notre. Okay, in front of car. Okay, so let's turn the things here. So not for the adjective possessive, and voiture is the noun. So if you don't have any question, please just leave me a comment in the comment section. Okay. Next sentence. They won't go to France. So the structure of the sentence will be subject, then no, then verb, then pas, then the complement. Okay. So that they won't go to France, we can also say they will not go to France to make it easy for us. Okay. So now let's put the color in the sentence. So they is the subject, will go is the verb, not is the negation, and to France is the complement. Okay, so I have just removed the other sentence, so this is the same sentence. Okay, I just removed the contraction of will and not. Okay. Now let's start with the subject. So there is the subject. So here I think this is a typing error, but I think you should look for the they. So for they we have two possibilities. It can be il or it can be elle. Now, when do we have to use elle? So this is very important in French. For they you have il, you have elle. Let's suppose you have a group made only of male. We'll use il, okay, to express they. We have a group made only of female, then we use elle to express they. Okay. Now we have a group with 100 or 1,000 or billion female, but one male. Then again, we use il. That's the logic in French. Sorry for the ladies. I'm also a feminist, so nothing to worry. But that is the French logic. Okay. So if you have a group, to use elle in French, we need to have a group made of female and only female. Okay. So here, mostly we'll just suppose that the il will be the one here. Okay, but you can also use elle. It will be giving the same result. Okay, so here I'm using il, but it could have been elle, no problem. Okay, so but the main thing is you need to understand that elle will be used only in a group when you have only females. Okay, next point, the verb. So will go is the future tense conjugation of the verb to go. So the verb is of this sentence is to go. Okay, so what we are going to do, so we should follow the French rule and conjugate the verb to go in future tense for the subject il. Okay, so to go will be aller, and for future tense it will be ils iront. Okay, so I'm going to replace will go by iront. So ils iront, then we have the negation and then two friends. Let's see the negation part. So again, to express negation in French, we need to have no, dash, then pas. Okay. Sentence with affirmative sentence, subject, then the verb, then the preposition, then the complement. With the negative sentence, then it will become subject plus ne or n apostrophe, then verb, then pas, then preposition, then complement. So pas will come right after the verb, but for ne, so ne should be placed right after the subject, and pas should be placed right after the verb. So here, this is the subject. I'm going to place ne here. And this is the verb I'm going to place pas here. So let's do the transformation. So, ils ne iront pas to France. Okay? Now, NE becomes N apostrophe when the next word starts with a vowel or a silent H. So this is NE, the next word starts with a vowel, so this NE will change to N apostrophe. Okay? So now, after changing to N apostrophe, there should be no space between the apostrophe and the next one. So, ils n'iront pas, then to France. Let's see this part. So, the preposition plus country again. So, preposition will be to, and the country here will be France. Okay. So, for the preposition to express to, we have three possibilities. We can use EN for all feminine countries and for all countries starting with the vowel. AU for all masculine countries starting with the consonant. And AUX for all plural countries. Okay, so here, what's the things? La France is a feminine country, so we use EN. Okay, that's why in our sentence, we change it to EN. So, ils n'iront pas en France. Okay, fine. So, this is it for the exercise of today. Last year, we went to the United States. L'année dernière, nous sommes allés aux États-Unis. The children have nice uniforms. Les enfants ont de beaux uniformes. There are no vegetables in the refrigerator. Il n'y a pas de légumes dans le réfrigérateur. We are going to sell our car. Nous allons vendre notre voiture. They will not go to France. Ils n'iront pas en France. Okay, so normally we are done, but after we are at the beginning, if you stay till end of the class, there will be a tip for you to understand the concept of writing sentences in French. Okay, so how to master the formation of sentences in French? So the first point will be to start with simple sentences. It will reduce the percentage of error. So write sentences like a subject, verb, complement. Subject, verb, complement. Okay? Then the second point will be to identify the tense of the sentence in English and find the tense in French that expresses the same. Okay, so if I'm talking about the past action, what is the tense in French that can be used to express past action? If it's about present tense, which one can be used to express present action? If it's about future action, which tense in French can be used to express future action? And the last point will be to practice a lot in writing. First of all, because the written word stays longer in the memory. And secondly, because the practice makes the learning perfect. Okay? Now, if you want to go to the next step also, please, you can just send me a message or write me on my social medias, okay? And I will be glad to help you take the next step, okay? To help you make you be fluent in French in a very short time. I'm not really expensive, so just give me a call. We are human beings. We can talk, okay? But I can't do the translation or everything for individual person. And if I'm doing it, even you won't take it as some things which is very important when it is free. Okay, it is very affordable rate. You can give me a message, then we can talk. I hope this class was really helpful for you. If you do have any question or want to contact me for any more information, please feel free. Okay? Merci. This is it for today's class. Bonne journée. Au revoir.